One of the world's great rivers, the Mekong, is drying up. It's at its lowest level since records began. Southeast Asian leaders are to meet in Thailand to discuss the problem and to look for ways to keep the waters flowing. Many say it's China's fault for building a series of dams on the river's upper reaches, while others say climate change and urbanization is the cause. The 4,000-kilometer-long Mekong runs through China, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia and Vietnam. Some 60 million people rely on it for their livelihoods. In a moment, we'll go live to Melissa Chan in Jinhong, China, on the claims that the Chinese dams are reducing the Mekong's flow. But first, here's Wayne Hayes' report from Cambodia's Kratie province, where the river is running dry.
You're looking at one of our planet's great natural features, but it shouldn't look like a desert. It's the Mekong River, and in this section in northeastern Cambodia, it's stopped flowing. Lone villages wander on the arid riverbed. Where there is water, the fishermen are struggling to survive. They say they don't know why the Mekong is evaporating, but they've never seen it so low.
The river is usually much deeper at this time of the year. I'm catching no fish at the moment. I don't know what to do.
It's been an unusually severe dry season in parts of the Mekong Basin, and in some areas the monitoring stations have confirmed that the river is at its lowest level since records began.
There is a section of the river here that is still flowing, but it's now down to about 2 meters deep. The wider picture is even more alarming and is only expected to get worse.
The hot conditions are forecast to continue for at least another month, longer in neighbouring countries. While the government of Thailand has placed part of the blame on China for holding back water at dams upstream, its counterparts in Cambodia haven't. They say climate change is responsible.
We're
not going to blame anyone. Each nation has a right to do whatever it wants. We can only appeal to countries to take care of the water resource.
The government, though, has much to lose by being too critical of China, which continues to pump billions of dollars into Cambodia's infrastructure.
China's government and Cambodian government, they tie the good relationship, good friendship. And China is a big donor to Cambodia government.
As the squabbling among the Mekong nations continues, the dry spell in Cambodia is claiming lives. 5 people have died, another 80 hospitalized in Kratie province. Some have tested positive for cholera, contracted from drinking contaminated water from wells. The district hospital is now overflowing, and some patients are forced to recuperate outside. The doctors are expecting more cases to arrive.
Because it's hot, people are drinking more water. But as the water level in the wells drops and the temperature rises, bacteria breeds faster.
As the sun goes down over the Mekong River after another hot, dry day, the fishing boats return empty-handed. The exposed riverbed provides entertainment for some, but they would rather have the Mekong back to normal. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Kratie province, Cambodia.
Okay, let's go further north now, live to Melissa Chan in Jinhong, China, which is on the upper reaches of the Mekong. Melissa, as we're saying there, a lot of the fingers of blame are pointed towards China, but is China feeling the effects of these low water levels at all?
Yes, China is feeling the low water levels as well, and they say that the main reason that the water levels in the Mekong have been so low has been because of the drought, and by the Mekong River Commission Summit's report's own admission. They do say in their report that came out just 1 month ago that the main reason does have to do with the drought, and it doesn't even mention the dam at all in the report. So there is some basis to the Chinese argument. Having said that, it is true that the Chinese do have 8 dams under construction, either completed or in the process of being built in the area we are in. But I think it's important to point out that there are also 11 dams further downstream in the Southeast Asian countries themselves, the very countries that have been pointing the finger at China.
So exactly what are these Southeast Asian countries looking for from China as they go to this meeting on the Mekong?
Well, China has a delegate as an observer. They're actually not a member of the Mekong River Commission, but they've said ahead of the summit that they are ready to disclose more information about at least 2 of their dams in this area. What critics say is that that's simply not enough, that there's a total of 8 dams in this area, and they need information on all of them. That is what most people are saying down south, but the Chinese say that what they've done is a good first step. After all, this isn't a government that is used to disclosing information to neighboring countries, not just for dams, but on other issues, on a range of issues. China is just not the type of country to be forthcoming.
And Melissa, as you said there, that China is, despite all these problems, China is planning to build more dams. How are they justifying the existence of these dams?
Well, they're saying again, over and over again, that it's not going to affect the water levels. It's not going to change the Mekong River. It's called the Langsang River up here. But I think part of the problem for the government is that they're not disclosing the information to back up what they're saying. One can say that the biggest problem China has in regards to this controversy is very bad PR, that they should have a better diplomacy, a better good neighbor relations with the countries down south. Some people would say that it just has to do with China being so big, they don't really have to answer to anyone.
Melissa Chan, thank you very much. Melissa Chan and Jin Hong for us.